Gang, I'd like to welcome new sponsor, True Hemp Science, full spectrum CBD products to the show. Now, gang, I've been using these products for a couple of months now, namely their number 81 Relax and Sleep CBD oil. You can find them at truehempscience.com. Now, listen, gang, they create handcrafted quality, full spectrum CBD products by sourcing the highest grade hemp from around the world. All unique, all top quality. They offer a complete line of CBD products, including full-spectrum CBD oils, tinctures, CBD skincare lotions, CBD sports rubs, which I've been using, CBD gummies, which I tried, and they're absolutely fantastic, and the CBD gluten-free chocolates. By choosing True Hemp Science, you know it's going to be good, so you can stay focused. Now, gang, I was having some trouble sleeping, and I was having some pain in like the palm of my hands, both of my hands. It was weird, and it was getting weird when I was playing. And a couple of months ago, I was at a farmer's market, and I ran into this guy Simon, and his and he was out there with the True Hemp Science like booth. And I got together and started talking with him, and I got some balm for my hands to try and like ease the pain, and the pain actually went away. And I ended up getting the number 81 Relax and Sleep True Hemp Science CBD oil. It's a full spectrum CBD oil. It's absolutely fantastic. I've been sleeping like a baby. This last weekend, I went to Vegas to play a show, and we got in the night before. I was up really late, and I woke up really early, and I was having a hard time trying to get a nap in before this big show we were playing for this convention. And I had a couple of drops of this CBD oil, number 81, the Relax and Sleep thing, and it helped me sleep for 4 hours. And listen, gang, I've been waking up really, really rested, like feeling like I had slept, you know, like not waking up like, oh my God, what do I have to do? Or like waking up like, oh, I need to sleep more. It's like I wake up, I stretch, and I just feel like, wow, I really slept. Go to truehempscience.com and use the code HDIGH and get something special. Purchase $65 worth of regular price products and receive 296 milligrams of their number 81 distillate. Number 81 is great for rest, relaxation, and sleep. That's the one I'm talking about. That's the one that's been helping me sleep, helping me wake up rested, and feeling ready to take on the day. Focused and ready to go. That's True Hemp Science. Find them at truehempscience.com. Now listen, gang, for the next few weeks, I'll be telling you about some other products I've been using, even their CBG. They're number 41. Boy, that one really gives you focus and gets you ready to take on your day. But right now, I'm telling you, go to truehempscience.com/HDIGH. Use the code HDIGH, and with your $65 purchase, you'll receive 296 milligrams of the number 81, which is great for rest, relaxation, and sleep. Go to truehempscience.com. This stuff really works, you guys. Let's get down.
And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
It's time for How Did I Get Here? And now here is your host,
All right. Hello, I'm Johnny. I'm your host. Welcome to the show. I hope you guys are all having a good week. Hope you guys all had a good Valentine's Day. Hope you guys all had a good Super Bowl Sunday. I didn't watch the Super Bowl game itself, but I did watch the halftime performance when it came on. And I was really blown away. I mean, it was, first of all, it was a great halftime performance. I loved all the songs that everybody played. They were all songs that I already loved. So that was exciting and fun to see them being performed. And also seeing that kind of a spectacle and that kind of production done so fast, like set up so fast and then torn down so fast. Really, really amazing and pretty unbelievable as like a spectacle, right? So the other thing that dawned on me was like, wow, our culture has really changed. Our culture has changed. Our anti-heroes have changed. A lot of things have changed. So you think about it, the Super Bowl is like the pinnacle of American mainstream. Like everybody watches that. Everybody watches it. The halftime performance is a big thing. Everyone argues about it the next day. I know there's a lot of people that they go back and forth on what kind of music should be played during the halftime of the Super Bowl. You know, just a few years ago, it was like Katy Perry, Lady Gaga. Last year, we had that crazy performance from The Weeknd. That was really kind of I thought it was interesting and pretty out there and weird, but I don't think America ate that up. But this was pretty amazing. And the thing that I found amazing about it was not only the performance and the production and all the songs that people chose and the cast of people chosen. It was great. Here are all these guys that at one point, like Dr. Dre was a member of NWA. He produced Fuck the Police. Like, these guys at one point were like the Dangers. These guys were like what happened at the Source Awards, in 93 or 94 or 95, whenever that happened, when it all got crazy and then guys started getting shot and things were getting really intense. Guys have been to jail. This is a very intense group of people. And in some ways, it's a great American story, right? Here are these guys that came from nothing, and now they're the guys dictating what's happening entertainment-wise at the most mainstream thing in America. And that's pretty fucking awesome, I think. I think it's amazing. Anyway, I thought the show was amazing. I thought the performances were amazing. I love Mary J. Blige. It was great to see Kendrick Lamar there among those sort of like, guys that would be up on the Mount Rushmore of hip-hop. I mean, there's a lot of guys that would be on it, and I know that Eminem comes a long way after Dr. Dre and after Grandmaster Flash and all the gang. But you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, great show. Also, on Valentine's Day, I saw the movie Licorice Pizza. Awesome movie. Awesome. I recommend it to anyone. I love Paul Thomas Anderson's movie. I haven't quite enjoyed the last few, like The Inherent Vice. I wanted to like The Master. I even saw it twice to try and make myself like it. The second time I didn't like it. But anyway, this one I really, really loved. Oh, and the Daniel Day-Lewis, the guy that makes the clothes one. I didn't like that one either. But I do love Licorice Pizza. Get out there and check it out. Now I'm kind of torn because I need to see the rest of the movies that are up for Best Picture, because while I love Power of the Dog, I left this movie feeling a lot better than I did after I watched Power of the Dog, even though they're both amazing movies. Power of the Dog makes you feel a little, sad afterwards. Anyway, that's my recommendations for movies. These Oscars, it's that time of year. Hey gang, it's Johnny. I just want to take a second to talk to you guys about engagement. Right now you're listening to the show, and I'm not sure exactly what platform you're listening to it on. But whatever platform you're listening to it on, you can subscribe to it and get an alert every time a new show drops, usually every Tuesday and every Friday. New shows every Tuesday and every Friday. Whatever platform you're listening on, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Overcast, Stitcher, any platform, you can subscribe to it. And if you can leave a comment, leave a star, share it on your social media if it's something that you like, please do that. We encourage you to do that. And also, as far as social media goes, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Johnny Gowdy on Instagram and Twitter. Give us a follow. You get to see photos even of my dog, of guests on the show, of different shows I play. Whatever it is that I'm talking about that I've been doing on the show, you'll be able to catch up on through Instagram and Twitter. Also, you can like our Facebook page, How Did I Get Here? Please do. You'll see photos of me with guests that have been on the show. Anyway, all I want to say is, you like a show, share it, use the hashtag How Did I Get Here Pod. We'll give you a shout out. Thank you so much for listening to the show, and engage. Let's get down. Gang, I have a great big show for you today. That's right, I have two guests. I have California artist by way of Chicago, Julianna Joy, whose brand new EP, Garden of Eden, just dropped last Friday. It was produced by the great Teddy Geiger, who worked with Lizzo and so many other great, Shawn Mendes, so many great artists. But Julianna is a fantastic songwriter, man. Amazing. Her debut EP, Cherries, came out in 2020, and her song Cherry Bomb has over 1.5 million streams on Spotify. Amazing. She's an amazing lyricist. And what I love about her, when her publicist sent me the stuff, you get this pop stuff and you hear it at first. You know what you're hearing, but I kept on listening. And as I was listening to the lyrics, I was really moved. This girl's really moving into some very deep places. We have a great conversation while she was driving around Los Angeles with her boyfriend. But before we talk to Julianna Joy, I talked to Austin's own Quentin Arispe from Quentin and the Past Lives. Now, Quentin, it was part of Austin Music Foundation's Artist Development Program, Year 5, along with artists like Natalie Price, Anastasia Hara and the Heroes, Pleasure Venom, and TV Temple. We all went into the studio. Everyone recorded 2 songs over at The Bubble with producers Frenchie Smith and Einar Peterson. We were all around to hang out and help out with the songs. And Quentin and the Past Lives, they recorded songs Friends and I Am the Gun. Fantastic songs. So these songs are available now on an album called ATX Gen Next Adventures in Person. Now you can find that right now. It's only available on Bandcamp at austinmusicfoundation.bandcamp.com. I'll put a link to it in the text of this podcast. But Quentin and I have a great conversation about just about recording the songs, what he wants to do, where he wants to take the band, and they've been playing some great shows. And we actually had this conversation a few weeks ago before we knew when these songs would be available. But they are available now exclusively on Bandcamp at austinmusicfoundation.bandcamp.com. ATX Gen Next Adventures in Person. So before we talk to Julianna Joy, the fabulous Julianna Joy, let's talk to my friend Quentin Arispe from Quentin and the Past Lives. Let's get down.
This is all my fault. I did it to myself. I had nobody's help. That's why I had to go. I wish I could just blame you. I wish I could just blame you. Like I always used to do.
Quentin.
Yes.
I have had such, just before we even start, just getting to know you, I feel like we're friends. I love it when you call and it's you, like when my phone rings and it's you. I really do.
Oh.
It makes me really happy. I feel like there's a
Oh my God.
you're one of those guys that's like super cool, and you're like, shit, man, that guy's calling me. But also,
silly.
it's not just that stuff. There's also just what an amazing talent you are on so many different levels.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we had a good time, man. We went in and recorded a couple of tunes.
Yeah,
you guys, you know,
we did.
everybody was in a different level of working on stuff there, on the stuff, but we were all in it together.
Yeah, I feel like when you're there and there's that many brains in one room,
Yeah.
and they all are passionate and they all like know what they're talking about,
Right.
like you just can't not do something that is just elevated. Like it's kind of like, and it would be harder to do something that wasn't good, I think, than to do something that was. And so
That's true, but it took everyone kind of being open at that point. And it's difficult, you know, it's not like we've known each other for years. Like we went in, me and Einar and you guys did some rehearsals. We had some Zoom meetings, but you didn't know Frenchie. You met him once on Zoom, and
Yeah.
you guys had never met Brendan.
no,
So the thing was everyone was open enough, and kind of everyone just came in on the same page to make the most badass versions of these amazing songs of yours.
yeah. And that's also like a weird thing, you know, because I definitely had a couple of moments in that studio where I was like, wow, all of these people are just like believing that what came out of my head works. And like, and they're all like going a bit mad, going a little crazy. Sorry, I had an audition today where I had to pretend that I'm from the UK. And so I have these weird,
Residual
like
accent.
kind of, yeah, it was like, I just said a bit mad. Like, I just heard myself. But anyway, cause that was in the script. Anyway, it was just kind of like crazy to me. And I was just kind of like, this is so cool. Like I was kind of pinching myself the whole time because I was like, why? Like all these people just are like, yeah, this is cool. This is good. We're about to like spend 12 hours just like going crazy and like manic over this thing that came out of your mind.
Right.
In a little room. you
Right.
know, a couple of months ago, and that's very weird to me. But I'm starting to get over that
Yeah.
that weirdness and just kind of accept that, you know, if they're all here and they're all dedicating their time to it, then it must be worth something.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful.
There's that weird imposter syndrome that people, it
Yeah.
never leaves you, where you're like, oh, these guys are going to find out that, like, it's just me, Quentin. They're going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
what are we all doing here doing this? It's just Quentin.
Oh, it's just Quentin.
But you know, man, I mean, I just had Kathy Valentine from the Go-Go's. They got inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I guess even when you're
Wow.
being inducted, you still have that feeling somewhere inside of you, like that night. So don't worry,
Oh,
Quentin.
yeah.
It'll never go away, buddy.
Great. That's so good to know. I can't wait.
So these songs are beautiful. And do you want to talk about them a bit? I remember that we had chosen... I know that we had, no, I don't think we had chosen, but I think there were front runners of songs was I Am the Gun and Something Else when we were, before we started going in the rehearsal room. And then
It was I Am the Gun. It was the songs we presented, I think 3 songs to you. I think it was I Am the Gun, Black Nails.
Right.
And Friends. And then the next time I showed you a song called Furniture.
Right.
And it was like, okay, which one of these is going to be it? And I did not want it to be I Am the Gun. I definitely did not.
Oh, you didn't?
And no, I didn't. I felt like it wasn't strong enough, which is kind of funny now.
I know.
But at the time it wasn't, it was also, now in the John Lennon, Paul McCartney vibe that me and Nico, my guitar player, have, you know, I Am the Gun was completely written by me. Like I had wrote the chords, I played it on the piano at first.
Right.
And so I don't know. I get discouraged by things I completely create by myself versus something that I wrote the lyrics, but Nico wrote the guitar parts, because like sometimes my chord choices are very weird because I'm not a musician. And so I guess I am, but just it's not like the forefront of what I do. And so.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, so I just kind of like, I get a little weary with songs that are like 100% written by me that just got like transcribed by my band.
Yeah.
And so that was, I was just very hesitant of Run, which is now I Am the Gun, but we call it Run still.
Right.
I was just a little nervous about it because I was like, oh no, like this is like a very Quentin song. And I just don't know if it's strong enough versus like Black Nails and like these other songs that are like way more complex musically.
Right.
And mine was this kind of staccato, like hitting thing, you know? And I was like,
Well,
I don't know if this makes sense.
There's that thing, I think, and that's one of the I think one of the valuable lessons that you guys kind of got out of working with us is it doesn't matter. Just even in the words, like making it more complex makes the message harder to understand. But sometimes when you're in music, you are concerned with what you're playing, not for the song, but for yourself. Like, oh, this isn't complex enough for me to present to people because it's going to be so easy. They're going to think I'm not very good. But the thing is like that doesn't matter. And I would say 7 to 8 times out of 10. So 7.5 times out of 10. Keeping it simple gets the message clearer. And that's what you're doing when you're playing a song, is delivering a message. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's something I've really been learning.
Well, Well, that's part of
continuing to write.
That's one of the big. I mean, that's a lesson every musician. That's a lesson every musician goes through, because intuitively, like in sports or in school and all this stuff, the more complicated thing that you can do is the most impressive, right?
Of course.
But then in art, that's not necessarily always true.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
It's wild. It's interesting, because it's also, I don't know. There's so much to talk about, and we have a finite amount of time. But you guys recorded these tunes, and
yes,
we went into the rehearsal room, and you guys really put so much into these songs. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That when we went in to record, it was super easy, and it was so fun. Like all the guys, everyone, and Moira.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is just a joy to be around. We all had a great time. I mean, I had a great time. I loved being around you guys and being around the energy and just being there for the music. You know what I mean? And watching you cut stuff and watching you guys come up with ideas. You know what I mean? Like, that's just really exciting and fun.
Yeah. We have a real kind of method, I think, at this point, because there is so many of us. There's 6 people in my band that are in the principal cast of my band, and they do not waver. And so that's a lot of heads, and especially just like going into these recording spaces and we really had to learn how to trust you guys, how to trust the song. And I feel like ultimately they had to trust me and I had to trust them. Yeah. And to the point where if Gabe was working on a guitar part, I walked away, I would leave, which is not something I would always like to do, because I like to be really in control of everything that goes on with the songs. But there just came a time, I think, as an artist, where you have to say, okay, I put these people in my band for a reason. I trust them.
Exactly.
They know something that I don't, and that's why they're here. And so let them do their job. Let them do their thing. Just like they ain't getting into the booth when I'm singing. They're not telling me how to do that. So it's like, because they know that's where I give. And so not once has anyone in my band ever said a thing about a lyric in a song ever. You know what I mean? It's like they know what their part is, and I know what my part is. And I think that reflected really well in that recording space, that we all respect each other.
Yeah.
And we're not here to outshine or outdo anybody. We're just here to sound like a group and sound like a cohesive thing.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to learn that is very special. And that a lot of bands are still having to figure that out. Yeah. And it took us a long time to figure that out, but I'm glad that we're getting to a place where we can kind of go in and execute something really efficiently and then get the fuck out.
Yeah. And not just do it efficiently, but really rise to the occasion and make great art at the same time, because efficiency doesn't always make great art. But the fact that you guys can do this and you can work as a team, and you have the goal becomes the song for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
sorry?
No, go.
I was gonna say, so you guys have been playing some shows, and are you guys in South by Southwest?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, we are official South by Southwest.
Do you know when you're playing yet?
I don't. Vote me, but I think it's March 17th.
Okay.
I know it's at the venue.
Oh, the venue.
It's at the venue.
Right. Okay.
The venue.
Right. So what? Okay. So you got the South by Southwest coming up. You're going to work on a set for that. I think is that what
Yeah.
we're coming in to help you with or do with you or talk to you about? Or
You
what?
guys are coming in because we have some new songs, and also, and I can hear A&R in my head, and I'm glad that we get to have this cataloged, archived. But I really think that I'm done writing for this project, and I know A&R is going to be like, ah, ha, 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 ha. No, you're not, you idiot.
No, you're not, you
but
idiot. What are you doing?
Yeah, I know, but I feel like I want to start recording this damn thing, you know?
Oh, right.
And
Okay,
so
I see what you're saying.
you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like there just kind of comes a time where you kind of got to be like, okay, like I feel like in terms of this character's arc, I feel like I've kind of given the middle, the beginning, the end. I could write more, but I think it would just be overkill at this point. Like, it's like,
It's
I
never
know.
overkill. You might write the best song you ever wrote. Don't ever not write.
I know. And
That's
I'm
crazy.
still, look, I wrote a song yesterday. So it's like, it's not over, but it's just like, I was just kind of like,
I know what you mean, though.
I
You're
really
ready.
want to start solidifying
Yeah.
the ones that we already do have. I want to make sure that those are really good before I continue and move on and keep just writing these things, you know, because when you're writing a song with a 6-piece band, you know, it's more than just like, oh, I have this cool idea, let's jam it for a second. You know, now we have A&R in the back of our head for the rest of eternity, and you in the back of our head, and Alex. And so it's like, we're really working really hard. Like, working on a song with the band now is a very different meaning, you know, and it's like, and so I just want to make sure that we're kind of in the right place. But anyway, going back to what you were saying, yes, you know, we do have a new set, and
You want to record it.
we want to record it. Like, we want to just start laying this shiz down, and we want to start kind of getting the album together. Like,
Right.
even if it's like making the demos, and I don't care what the process is. I just need to go to a step
Start
two
hearing it.
of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, there's only so many times I can hear it with the voice memo quality on my iPhone when we're in rehearsal.
Right.
Like, I need to start hearing how it's going to sound in a car, and how it's going to start sounding with harmonies, and with, even though Moira and Jake are already doing the harmonies, but just, I need to hear it mixed. Like, not fully mixed.
I know what you mean.
You know,
to sit back and listen to it on speakers and be able to dissect it and see if you're going in the right direction. I get it, man.
Yeah. And so that's where we're at with that.
Okay. Well, okay. So South by Southwest. Wait, let's
South
go
by
back.
Southwest.
South by Southwest is coming. What are you trying to get out of South by Southwest? A manager, a booking agent?
Oh, wow.
What?
I didn't even think about
Publicity?
any of that.
Well, that's why you're doing it.
I know, you're right. Thank you. Sometimes I just, want to sing.
Oh no, I get
sing.
it. But this is a show that, like, you can actually get people that wouldn't normally be able to see you to see you.
No, you're totally correct. If there's anything that I've learned so far in these live shows, especially these live shows with Neptune and this character and this album or this band or whatever you want to call it, is I'm just going to make the best show that I possibly can. And things just kind of happen when I put my focus into that and not into anything else. Like, so it's like, I guess I could have a meeting with Alex and have a meeting with Josh and kind of talk about, these are the things I want you guys to be going and doing.
Right.
While we're performing and be on the look for while we're performing.
Right.
And of course there's mixers and industry parties and little things that I'm going to go to. And that's when I get to be the entrepreneurial, the businesswoman, whatever you want to call it. But when I'm on stage and when I'm when I'm making something for stage, I'm just trying to make a really good show that you just can't deny.
Yeah.
Like, you just and just to where it's like, I have to help these people. Like, I don't have any other choice but to help these people. And so I guess my drive, my initiative is just great work and great music. And then the second I get off stage, I can take off the garb. And it's so undeniable that when I do talk to these people, they're like, yeah, what can we do? How can we help? You know, so I compartmentalize the performance from the business
woman.
The businesswoman, because obviously I'm a man on stage, but I'm a woman in the streets. Okay. Okay, John. Okay, Jay. Okay, JG. so I'm a man on the stage, but I'm a woman in the streets.
That's right.
And that's what they love. That's what they can't get enough of.
That leads into sort of my closing comments, is that I feel like you are one of the people that, I mean, it's interesting because going through this program and doing it now 5 times and doing like the 3 records and all of that stuff, you kind of see a pattern of people that seem to get a lot out of this program and what it has to offer. And it seems like those are the people, I mean, it only makes sense, but the people that get the most involved. And I feel like you, and there's a couple of other people that are really proactive, but I feel like you, I mean, do you feel like you got something out of this? Because I feel like you did.
Oh, God.
I feel like
I got so much out of this. I got so much out of this. And I told Jen, like, I was like, whatever you need for me to do once this is over, like, if you need me to come in, if you want me to just hug people, I will help you guys. I was like, I love this process. I mean, it is completely elevated and changed. And like you guys said from the beginning, and I felt like I knew this from the beginning, this program is only what you make of it. It's not like, it, you know, it's like they kind of put you into a room with doors and you still have to open them, you know, and you still have to like work really, really extremely intensely hard. Yeah. But it's just some other minds that are like, hey, I have some resources. There's some things I can offer you, you know, and here. But whatever you do with it is what you do with it. But I can give that to you. And I feel like that's what this program did. And I mean, I don't think I would be, you know, a shirtless, screaming, black banged haired rock star. I don't think that would have happened if I didn't do this program. It may have, but it would have been different. And I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done what I'm doing.
Well, I would have done something else. That makes me happy. Me and Einar and Alex and, you know, even Frenchie, like we were all guys that someone did that for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we feel like just to keep this whole thing going, whatever this is, this Austin music family, you know, and scene or whatever it is, then we have to turn around and make sure that the next people that are coming up have the tools that at least we have, you know?
Yeah, whatever for that sure. Means. And whatever that means. But I think you did it. I think well, good. You did it. You helped us. And now, you know. Well,
I know Einar and Alex and Jenny and definitely me and Frenchie and Brendan and even Scott Collins, like everyone's just really proud of you and really proud of these tunes and just really, really excited to be a part of this with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. I'm very grateful.
And I have to say, I know this sounds so weird, but I love that we become friends. It makes me really happy. Like, it really does make me happy when you call me.
I love calling you. Yeah. I love our friendship. I wrote a song called Friends.
Yes.
It's something that really matters to me. It's some friends matter and are important. And it's so cool to have you guys, you know, a call away. That's really cool to me. And I don't take that for granted.
Well, good. So. Well, we're always here for you, and I guess we'll be seeing you at one of these rehearsals soon. These songs will all be available on Bandcamp. I don't have the exact date yet, but it's ATX Gen Next Adventures in Person. This is our third Austin Music Foundation Artist Development Program album, and it features some other great artists. But Quentin in the Past Lives, Friends, and I Am the Gun, amazing songs. And thank you for being part of it, and thank you for being part of my life. I love you.
Of course. I love you too.
All right, my man. All right, that was Quentin Arispe from Quentin and the Past Lives. Find their songs, Friends and I Am the Gun, on ATX Gen Next Adventures in Person, brought to you by the Austin Music Foundation and available right now only at austinmusicfoundation.bandcamp.com. Fantastic songs, fantastic record. Also features Natalie Price, Anastasia Hara, and The Heroes, TV Temple, and Pleasure Venom. All right? You got to get out there and do it. You got to do it. All right, let's talk to Julianna Joy. I talked to her while she was driving around Los Angeles with her boyfriend. Her new EP, her latest EP, available now, just came out last Friday. It's called Garden of Eden, produced by the great Teddy Geiger, who's worked with Shawn Mendes, Lizzo, and so many more. Her debut EP, Cherries, is available also with a fantastic song called Cherry Bomb that has over 1.5 million views. She moved to LA from Chicago to pursue her musical dreams as a very young person, and we have a fantastic conversation about all of that. So, without further ado, please enjoy my conversation with this fantastic artist, Julianna Joy. Let's get down.
I'm so fucking bored. I could write 100 more songs about you, even though we put our love to rest a year and a half ago. I don't find comfort in your voice, but I still listen for it in the songs you send me. It's just out of habit now.
It's really nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Where are you that you're hiding out in a car?
Well, I actually just did breakfast with my boyfriend's parents, and so we're just sitting in in a back neighborhood in LA, just just pulled over. Like, I was like, I don't want to be driving during this, and they didn't want to I told them I had an interview at 11, and they were like, well, we don't want to come down here until after 9, and because they're from Ventura. And I was like, I mean, we just need to be in and out, and then yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, how was it? What'd you have?
It was good. I had a Nutella and strawberry waffle and a latte.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It was so good. It was like I can't even describe it. It was at this place called Ann Waffles in Woodland Hills. It's amazing.
So when did you move to LA? Because you're pretty astute on the geography.
Well, I moved here in February of 2020.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
So almost a couple years you've been there.
Yeah, it's 2 years, February 12th, actually. That's my official move date, my move anniversary. But I had actually been living here on and off while I was in high school, staying a couple times during my class, my semesters, and yeah, so I got to know the area pretty well before I moved out here. So I was very comfortable when I came. Cool.
That city, it's different now with GPS, but the first time I had to go there to write with people and shit, I had a rent-a-car and a key map and no cell phone. No, it was in the 90s. And it was just
my God.
I hope I find this person's house.
Fingers crossed that you're going the right direction.
Yeah.
There's so many streets and so many things you have to memorize. I feel I don't know how I would survive without Waze.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole different world there now. Hey,
it is.
Julianna, let me tell you this, you're a great songwriter, man. You are a great songwriter. This EP you're going to release the day before your second anniversary in Los Angeles. Garden of Eden is fantastic. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to dig into who you are. You have some time, right?
Oh yeah. I've got
Okay,
time.
cool. Yeah, it's fucking great. You're a great songwriter.
Thank you.
And also, I feel free to cuss after listening to Teenage Boys.
Okay, thank you. I was literally
It's like
going
the
to ask that. I was
musical-
like,
it
am
was
I
the-
allowed to cuss?
Yeah. It's like the musical equivalent of Scarface. Have you ever seen that movie?
I haven't, but I believe that that's true.
They say fuck a lot in that movie. Anyway, this song is great, and the record's
Thank
great. Teddy Geiger is who produced it.
Yes.
Yeah. How did you hook up with her?
It's actually funny. So I basically had a meeting at Big Deal, which is now Hypnosis Song Group. And I was just like, we were talking about people I could like potentially write with. And I was talking about my synesthesia, and Jamie Soretta was like, you should write with Teddy Geiger. Like, let's try to figure that out. She would be really interested in like your writing process. And so I was like, okay. And then I left the meeting and I immediately DM'd her. I like went on Instagram and I went in her DM. Hey, Jamie Soretta says that we should meet. Like, I don't know where you are right now, because I see that you like kind of are in New York, but whenever I'm in LA next, like, let's meet. And then we met and we did a session together in January. And Teddy was like, I want to write with this person. I want to do a whole thing with her. And yeah, so it was literally just by Instagram DMs. I swear by it. It's like the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me.
That's awesome. That's really, I mean, also, you like, not everyone was sent by Jamie. You know what? Now everyone does that
Totally.
listens to this show. I bet Teddy's going to get a lot of DMs after people listen to this.
Totally.
So what is your writing process? You were saying that she might get your writing process. What is that?
My writing process kind of changes. So right now it kind of looks like I come up with lyrics and I like write almost like a structure of the song, and then I bring it into a producer and I'm like, hey, make this make sense. And that's kind of the vibe. But I write most of my lyrics by myself. And then I bring them to other people as like a collaborative thing and be like, hey, does this line make sense or is it garbage? Like, be real with me.
Okay.
And yeah, piano is my main instrument. So I usually do piano.
Okay.
And yeah.
Do you know this songwriter named Mary Gauthier?
I don't.
It's a very different world than you're from and I'm from. Like
Okay.
the super like troubadour, like, you know, lady with an acoustic guitar, just working, like taking
that.
2 years to write a song because the lyrics aren't right. You know what I mean? But it seems like to me, you know, your music is pop, but the lyrics aren't disposable. It's funny because when I first got sent this by your publicist, in all clarity, I'm 53 years old, right? And I come from a world of like fucking guitars and drums and, you know,
Totally.
I'm a musician and I've done this my whole life. And anyway, just a little background on where I'm coming from. When I first put it on, I was like, okay, well, you know, here's someone that turned 20 and has a pop EP. Okay. Then it kept going. And I was like, I can't remember what song it was. It might have been Blood Runs Out. And where I was like, what did she say? And then I started the song over and I was like, oh, wait, there's like some real depth going on here.
Oh yeah.
Even when I went
no,
back,
that's-
when I went back in your older, sorry to interrupt you, but even when I went back
my God, you're fine.
into your older stuff, like the song Cherry Bomb, which is played, you know, congratulations. That's a lot of fucking plays, and it's hard to get that in this day and age.
I know. I'm like, every time I look at the Cherry Bomb streams, I'm like, how did this happen?
No shit. Well, the opening line is it God is a woman, but she's not mine?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, as a songwriter myself, you're like, Jesus, that is the opening line that's like one of the best opening lines I've heard in a long time.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
So,
Thank you.
where does it do you? How does that fall? How does that come? How does that come to you?
Well, it's like, honestly, I don't really know. I started writing when I was like 11, and lyrics were always like my main focus, was just trying to write something that I felt like could stand out like against other pop songs, you know, because like my boyfriend and I were literally just talking about this on the way over to breakfast. Like, pop music for a really long time was just about the production and not really necessarily about the lyrics and stuff. Yeah. And I mean, I grew up with pop music. Like, pop music is my favorite genre. Like, when people ask me, like, what's your favorite genre? I'm like, pop.
Right.
I write pop music. Like, that's my niche. I love it. And when I was thinking about, like, when I was writing and what genre I wanted to go in, I was like, I obviously have to do pop, because I want to, like, treat the songwriting that I do as like I want to basically prove that pop music is like worth substance. You know what I mean? And so I try really hard. With the lyrics, and I like read a lot, and I just try to like think of stuff. Like, I don't really know. It's like hard to explain that. Like, I just love writing.
The read a lot comes through in your lyrics. You have a very
thank you.
For it's a very literate you're a very literate lyricist for the genre you're in.
Thank you.
I mean, there's
thank you.
That's not to say like there aren't great people. Like Billie Eilish, I think, is an amazing songwriter. Like, you know,
100%.
Amazing. There's stuff that really does stand out, but for the most part, the mainstream has been loaded with this pop that has just been like whatever. You know what I mean?
100%. I think there was like a really good era of pop music, and then there was like the era where almost every pop song sounded like it was made by Target to be like a commercial song. Yeah. And no hate to any of those songs. That was just an era of pop that just existed, you know? And that's when I think like alternative and indie rock started coming back up, and we're seeing crossovers of that now. And yeah, I really want pop music to make a comeback in the right way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go back. You said you started writing songs when you were 11. So you're living in Chicago. What was your family? What's your family? What are your parents? What's going on there?
Well, my parents, and I have two sisters. They are like the most supportive family I think I could ask for.
Yeah.
Both my sisters are in high school still, and both are in music as well, which is such a fun thing because I can send them stuff and they'll actually give me opinions and like know what they're talking about, which is like the greatest thing ever. But actually, like for a while, I don't think I ever sang in front of my mom until I was like 12 or 13. And I like kind of kept it a secret that I wanted to be a songwriter like until I was like 13. So I like started writing, and I like kind of like kept it in until I was like, okay, this is like kind of presentable. Let me show my mom. Let me talk to my mom about this. And then, yeah.
What were you writing about? Like at 11? Like,
the way that I started writing was I was taking piano lessons at the time, and the only way that I could get into playing piano, like I hated playing classical pieces. I hated like doing like the lesson book stuff.
Learning bullshit.
So I would, yeah, stuff that I was like, this is not going to serve me. Like, I get that I'm a piano player, but like, I want to play like Taylor Swift. So that's what I did. Is I bought all of her songbooks and I learned all of her songs, and I like basically would use her chord structures and kind of like not necessarily copy her lyricism, but like dissect her lyricism and be like, okay, this line was cool. Why is it cool?
Yeah.
And kind of going from there. And so I would write about like my 6th grade crush, or like, like I would write a lot about just feeling sad because I went through some major depressive episodes when I was, 12 and 13, as most people do.
But they were regular depressive. They weren't like your family had to institutionalize you or something.
No. It was like 13. I think the world hates me. That kind of just insecurity. And I would write about that a lot. And then when I was 14, I started writing about people. Like I started actually writing songs about people around me. And when I first released the song when I was 14, it was called Close Enough. And that was just a disaster. It was a great song. Don't get me wrong. For 14, it was an amazing song. But like everyone in my entire life knew who the song was about. And so it was just like it was just the most uncomfortable thing ever, being like, okay, like, I don't want to answer any questions about what happened between the two of us. Like, I just listen to the song and you'll figure it out. And then they did. And then they were like, but I have more questions. I want to know more. It was just nightmarish. I know. The person it's about and I joke about it like all the time.
Well,
he's like,
well, wait, how are they hearing those? Were you releasing those songs? Because now I'm thinking about it. When you were 11 years old, that was like 2013. I was already doing this podcast for like 2 years.
Yeah, no, so I was working with the place that I was taking voice lessons. So I started taking voice lessons when I was like 14. And I expressed to my teacher that I like really, really wanted to start like putting music out because I had done some research on it. And so I was, you know, like I was trying to figure out like a way to like do a production done and
right.
like, you know, and one of the people who worked at the place was like, I could just do it for you for like $200. And I was like, sick. Okay, let's do that. And so I did like maybe 1 or 2 sessions. And, you know, it was like early Pro Tools. Like it was a version of Pro Tools that I have not seen since I started doing sessions. Like it was very old. And it was cute. I played the piano a bunch and I enjoyed it. And then I put it out on TuneCore. TuneCore was like my baddie, like my best friend for that. And yeah.
You know, quick aside, I before 2020, I used to record their podcasts. They used to do them here. TuneCore did.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, a really good friend of mine runs the office here in Austin. That's where I am. I'm in Austin,
That's
Texas.
so sick. Ah, fun.
Yeah, you ever been here?
I haven't. I've been to Texas once.
Are you coming to South
and
by
I don't
Southwest?
remember any of it. I'm not, but I should.
Yeah, you should. At least to get coronavirus.
Oh, totally. I've already had it, so I feel like I'm safe.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's going to get it. But hey,
Totally.
yeah. So, okay, so let's go back. So you put them out through TuneCore. So are those songs out on Spotify? Should I have listened to them? No. Okay.
No, we took those down so I originally went under the artist name JJ because that was the name that I went by in my hometown. It was like, I got really sick of everyone mispronouncing my name because it's Julianna, not Juliana. And
did I call you Juliana?
Like, no, you didn't.
Okay.
You're totally fine. Okay. I don't care anymore. It's like kind of like how Rihanna's name is not actually Rihanna. It's like Rihanna or whatever. But I was just really annoyed of it. And because I was that insecure 13-year-old, I was like, nobody can call me Juliana. No one. I'm going to go by JJ. And so I did that. And I had an artist project called JJ for a while. And then when I signed my deal with Hypnosis, I was like, yeah, we're taking all that shit down. When I did my rebrand, I was like, nope.
Let's go back here. So you signed with this company, Hypnosis. Are you still with them?
Mm-hmm. I am. So
what is it?
Yeah, they kind of. It's a publishing house. They house Teddy Geiger, like Joe London, Ricky Reed. When you say they house, but did you get like an advance and shit? Oh yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. No, yeah. Like I got a very fancy deal for being like an 18-year-old pop writer whose main focus was my artist project. You know, I feel like most of the people they house are not. They write. They're
like
known for
their
writing
job.
with
They're
other
writers.
people.
They're not artists. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's actually one of my favorite things about being signed with them is like they see me as a writer and an artist, so I don't have to try to be like, well, I'm an artist first, writer second, or
right.
Whatever. Like it's a very balanced team, and they're so supportive of everything that I do, and it's a very tight-knit family. Like everybody that I work with there is just so nice, and they're always like texting me and keeping up with my projects. And it's just like, it's such a nice feeling.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. Because that's hard to find, man, in this business.
Oh, no, I totally. I've heard some crazy horror stories about stuff. And I'm like, I'm just really lucky I ended up in the shoes that I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you signed with those guys. Were you playing out? Were you playing shows? Were you?
I wasn't. So I had literally just graduated high school when I got signed. So it was like basically December 2019, graduated. January of 2020, turned 18. February of 2020, offered deal, moved to LA. And then
The world
March
shuts
2020,
down.
COVID happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then April, I'd like officially signed. Like I was offered, 2 months. So it was like a very fast process because we were like, this COVID, we don't know what's going to happen with COVID. So let's make sure we got this down.
Yeah. That's good that they didn't just dump you when that happened,
I had been talking with like Big Deal / Hypnosis for like, I want to say 2 to 3 years before that. So I was like, I don't think they'll abandon me during this historical event. But you never know. But luckily, they literally I would FaceTime people from there, like from the workplace, and be like, we just check up on each other like all the time. It was like a completely different environment than I expected,
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's awesome. That's a great thing to hear. Cause I have great stories, but also horror stories. And the whole business freaked me out so bad. I was just like, I don't know if I want to try and do that crazy shit again. But let me ask you, so do they put out your records as well, or who's putting out Garden of Eden?
Garden of Eden is being put out by 1 RPM. And I technically put them out. I put them out. They basically just they
distribute,
support me. Yeah, they support me, they give me connections, they put me in sessions, and then I distribute it. And yeah.
Still through TuneCore, probably.
No, through 1 RPM this time.
Oh, okay.
TuneCore is wonderful, but it was there was a point where we needed, when we released Cherries, we were like, okay, this is going to go on TuneCore, but we know that eventually we're going to have to move it to a different platform. So it was just it was like a gateway almost. It wasn't the final destination. It was just the gateway.
So let me ask you this. Have you played shows?
No, I haven't.
Is it
I'm
weird?
very
Is it
sad
weird to
about
have
it.
1.5 million plays on just one song and tons of plays on other songs and you haven't played a show? Not that I think you should, and I'm not judging you. And I'm not being like some old dude
God,
you
no,
haven't
of
even
course.
paid your dues, girl.
No, I want to play shows really bad. I'm just one of those people that I am so scared of housing an environment where COVID could just go crazy.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of venues out here that are super strict with it that I love and enjoy. And I go to shows all the time there because I'm I feel safe and comfortable here. And then there's other shows and other venues that just do not follow the COVID protocols whatsoever. And so I always just get nervous, but I think at this point, what are you going to do?
How do you envision it going off live? I mean, what is it going to be? Like a band?
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
Band for sure. I hate being the only person on stage. Whenever I have performed,
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I was in a bunch of music groups, and I never once performed by myself and felt comfortable. I loved being around other people and being able to bounce off that energy. And so thinking about live shows, I've always wanted to have a band and kind of just I want to go big with it. I want it to feel like a rock show, but it's just happens to be a little bit of pop.
Yeah.
Happens to be pop music.
Yeah. You know what I've seen, at least here, because I don't know if you'll be playing clubs or if somewhere you'll get to go on a tour that you actually have production and shit, but what I see happening here in Austin is pop music is like R&B, it's a little too ritzy sounding for a club or for a bar. You know what I mean? It's hard to go in and do whatever it is that the latest pop person is performing, like it at the Mint. Like that. It wouldn't translate. You can't have that kind of production in there. Even in-ears in there seems kind of weird because you know what I mean? Like all that stuff seems kind of odd and out there. I find bands that have like pop records, when you go see them, they have transformed their shit into like a rock band. So now it's like it's gone from like some Taylor Swift, or not Taylor Swift, but something a little more electronic. I can't think of right now. But going into like kind of AC/DC as well. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. That's kind of how we've been, like, when I do rehearsals and stuff, because we've been, I'm trying to rehearse to get into live shows because that's, the dream. But we've been trying to like basically make everything sound sort of rock. And when we perform Teenage Boys, we have a country like West version of it, like a Western really? Version of Teenage Boys. Yes, it is so funny. It started, okay, so I did a couple of live streams, just like totally like an aside, but we did a couple of live streams with my boyfriend and I. Like, he's an amazing guitarist. And so like I always, when I think of live shows, I'm like, he's got to do it because he's just so smart. And we were jokingly playing this, it was like Landslide by Fleetwood Mac going into Super Bass by Nicki Minaj.
That's awesome.
And then, so it was like very weird. And then we just kind of like kept going from there, like in this rehearsal. And then all of a sudden we're like, okay, let's do Teenage Boys. And he's like, what if we like kind of made it sound like that? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, like, what if we did this like super Western version of Teenage Boys? And I was like, I'm so in it. I was like, let's do this. It's going to sound so good.
Is that out there?
And it does.
Do you think you'll release something like that as like a special single?
Honestly, I kind of want to.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be really fun to do like a Teenage Boys EP with just a bunch of different versions of it, because there's so much room to do different versions with it.
Yeah.
And that would just be so fun.
To me, that's like the mark of a really good song. You can pretty much do anything with it.
Totally.
And if the structure and it itself is strong enough, it'll withstand any kind of like reggae version or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you listen to country music?
Yeah. I did a lot when I was a kid. It was my mom's favorite genre of music.
Huh. What about your boyfriend?
When she was like...
Does he have a band?
Oh, he is playing in a band called Cargo. He's the like guitarist, but he's not like officially part of that band. He's got his own artist project called Henry Hates You, which is iconic. Okay. And then I've been writing a lot for, which has been really fun.
Awesome. How did you guys meet? How does a person
Tinder.
Meet another great... Oh, really? Like straight up Tinder?
Yeah.
Wow.
Straight up Tinder. No, and it was funny. So his roommate actually matched with me like previously, like a few months before. And Henry and I had to like date in secret for like 2 weeks because his roommate called dibs on me. Was like, you can't talk to her. Like, I want to go out with her first. And then I was like, do I not get to stay in this? Yeah, we dated in secret, and then it was really funny. We laugh about it now because his roommate is like one of his closest friends now. But it was a really funny start to our relationship, and then
Nice.
Yeah.
So you...
I did not expect to meet someone like that on...
No. I go back and forth on that thing. It's weird.
Totally. I hated online dating, so I'm glad that I like found someone where I'm like, okay, I won't ever have to do that again.
Yeah.
Because it was so gross and awful, and I hated it.
Let me ask you this, Julianna.
Yes.
See, I said it right.
You did.
When you release Garden of Eden, you're not going to play a show? Why am I so obsessed with you playing a show?
No, because I want to do it too. Like, I feel like you're like reading my vibe of like, I desperately want to do something.
I'd love to see this music live. Like, it seems like it would be fun for you to perform, which would in turn be fun for a guy like me to watch, you know?
Totally. No, I want to so bad. I'm thinking of hosting a release party, but I haven't decided. I keep reaching out to like music for like event people and being like, hey, like if you guys have a lineup, like add me. I would love to play. And then I get like left on red, which is sad.
Well, it's funny to see because you do have an audience out there.
Oh yeah.
But you don't have an audience from them connecting with you personally from being in the same room with you. You know what I mean?
It's like all 100% just based on how they see me on socials and how they see me through Spotify and Apple Music. It's definitely really interesting because I feel like seeing me in person would probably solidify who I am, you know, and it's hard to be 100% yourself online because there's just no way to do that.
Well, it also seems like at this point, this sounds weird, but we can speak openly. There's not like I don't see an over-sexualization of yourself out there, which is happening a lot in this music, and it's not. You know what I mean? I appreciate that.
No, yeah, I don't like. I get it from like being a pop fan for a really long time. I see like how like sex does sell, and being over sexual is like definitely gets you more of an audience, and no shame to anyone who does that because they're definitely very smart for doing that. As a woman, I see it and I respect it. But I've never been a sexual person, you know, like
that's what I'm saying.
I like,
right. I feel like
I wear baggy shit and
I feel like some of those people that do that, they come off like that. And you seem a little, more from the heart and mind than from the hips, if that makes sense.
No, 100%. I think it's literally just about like how comfortable you are like in your body and like how you almost were like treated growing up. Cause like, I feel like the people who are more sexual were definitely like more like popular or like more seen. And I never was, and I never felt that way. And I don't think I've ever come off that way. Not that if I were to come off that way, I wouldn't hate it, but I'm kind of glad that I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it is a huge thing. And even being like a young woman in this business can be kind of treacherous, you know?
Oh yeah. No, it's a very interesting like difference between male and female artists, like what female artists have to do to be seen as like powerful and incredible versus like what men have to do. And it's recognizing that in like, I guess like watching live performances and like preparing for stuff, it's definitely very obvious to me. And I try to keep it in mind of being like, like when I watch like live, when like there's live, oh my God, what are they called? Live award shows. Oh my God. Right. And like dudes will just show up in like jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then girls will show up in like a Gucci dress. Yeah. I'm like, I want to be able to show up to a live award show in jeans and a t-shirt. Like I want the double standard to just disappear, you know?
Yeah. Let's talk 2 years from now when I'm watching like the MTV Awards and you're rolling up in something. Here's Julianna Joy in her new Gucci dress. What are you wearing, Julianna? Oh, I'm wearing Gucci.
I'm wearing Gucci.
So were you?
They designed this just for me.
Were you a Tom girl growing up?
I was okay. I went through like a phase when I was like 10 where I would only like draw skulls and like dark shit. Like that was who I was. I didn't want to be girly like whatsoever. I was like, I hated the color pink. Like I was basically tomboy, like as you could, like down to the definition. And I also went through an emo phase that isn't abundantly obvious.
Yeah. Well, the skulls led me to that.
Yeah.
Did people worry about you like at that point? Like were your parents like, oh, what are we going to do with her?
I think my mom was concerned at first because I was like dyeing my hair like a lot. This is when I was 13. If it all makes sense, you know, like 13, insecure. Let me do everything I possibly can to make myself stand out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was dyeing my hair a lot, and I was listening to pretty much like only emo music. I was like a big Tumblr girl right when Tumblr was like at its prime. So it was like Panic at the Disco, 21 Pilots, Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Like that was me for like a good 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And my dad was super into it. My dad loved it.
Oh yeah.
He didn't like my hair dyeing, but like he loved the music, and he went to me to like with me to like every single emo show. Like we went and saw Panic at the Disco like 2 times, I think. And we saw 21 Pilots like 3 times, and he just ate it up. I don't know if he was ever worried.
Was he he was a fan of, was he like a metal guy? Is he like my age or something?
Yeah, he's definitely a metal guy.
Yeah.
He loves Metallica. He's like hard rock. Though I will say, since starting my pop career, he has gotten really into like girl pop. Like he's a big fan of Ella Jane.
Uh-huh.
He's a big fan of Doja Cat. He's got this playlist on Spotify called Female Power, or like Female Power Pop or something like that. And it's just every pop song that he likes. And it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Like
That's
it's like,
awesome.
And it's good.
Yeah.
Like the taste is good. Like he's not listening to shit pop music. Like he's got some good selections in that one.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, he's a total cutie.
Do they get to come out there and see you even now with the pandemic and all that shit? Okay. Good.
Yeah, my mom is out here 50-50. So she's in Chicago half of the time, and then she's in LA half the time.
What's she doing?
Because my whole family's trying to move out here. She is like a leader of HR at this food distribution company.
Oh, that's
I know,
cool.
very music inspired. I'm kidding. And she also works as my manager, which is, you know, how it goes, I guess, at being 20, and, you know, I just joined the industry. But she's done like a wonderful job. And so when she's out here, we focus on my music. And then when she's at home, she focuses on my sisters, and they're all moving out here in the next like 3 or 4 years. Like everyone's migrating over here.
That's awesome. It seems like if you can make that work, nothing would be better than having your mom taking care of you, you know, into your adulthood.
No, totally. She's like killing the game, and she knows me so well. So it's like I don't even have to go through like the awkward process of like if someone emails and it's like a garbage offer, like it doesn't have to be brought up to me to see if I'm interested. She's like, I know she doesn't like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's really nice.
How do they like Henry?
Oh, they love Henry.
Okay.
Henry is like their favorite person.
That's great.
We have a group chat called Michelle's Kids, and it's me, Henry, both my sisters, and then my childhood best friend Ari, who is currently living at my parents' house. And so it's like the 6 of us, or the 4 of us. What is it? 5? I don't know. There's a number. It's really cute.
That kind of thing makes me think that if everything does take off for you, you have at least an actual support system that will keep your feet on the ground and some kind of non-insano life, you know?
Totally. It's one of my favorite things right now is that I have like a really, really good support system.
Yeah.
Like my friends out here are great. My friends in Batavia are great. My friends, like my parents are so supportive. My family, like they're always checking up, you know, like I don't feel like super abandoned and everything. And it's going to be super important for these next couple of years if things go the way I want them to, you know?
Yeah. There's a weird thing when that phone is at the angle and the light hits you a certain way, you look bald and it looks really freaky.
My bad. Here, let me look like this.
It's okay. You could do whatever you want, but it looked really weird. Hey, so this EP comes out February 11th. There's some singles already out from it. You have other music out. Your debut EP that came out in 2020, Cherries. What is next on the horizon? I know you're releasing an album, but what are you getting into right now?
Hopefully I'm working on another EP right now that will hopefully be coming out later this year. It's with D. Lilly, who is just an amazing human being. He works with a group called Group Therapy and is like their main producer. Oh. And he is like, I think I'm like his first true pop project. Like he's worked up with other pop artists, but I'm like his first true pop project. And so it's like, I'm bringing in all of these different sounds and things that I wouldn't have like thought of. And we're pushing the boundaries of what I've been capable of. And I'm so excited for that to come out. And I'm trying to plan shows if that wasn't clear. And yeah, that's like kind of the next like year of my life is trying to finish that EP and try to get some shows. I want really badly to go on tour because I think that would be very, very fun. I've always wanted to be a touring musician. So
it's very, very fun.
Yeah, if you can't tell, Henry's very aggressive when he drives.
It sounds aggressive. I tell Henry he's been a total awesome person that sat in a car driving while someone was being interviewed because I didn't even hear a peep from him. Every once in a while I see him and I'm like, oh yeah, nice guy.
He's there. He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
He's very respectful. It's very nice.
Very respectful. Is there anything else? I'm sure there's a lot I'm missing. If you ever come to Austin, we got to sit down and do this in person. And I would totally go see you play.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think you're cool as shit. You're as cool as your music is.
Thank
I was hoping
you.
you'd be this cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. Thank you so much.
I really hope the best for you. And this will be coming out in a couple weeks.
You.
And I'll let your people know and I'll tag you on all the socials. But it's been really nice talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. It's been so nice talking to you as well.
Yeah. I hope you guys have a lovely day. And I don't know how it can get better than Nutella strawberry waffles.
Oh my God, I know. Jesus. Literally the highlight of my day besides.
Oh, wait, you're cutting out.
My bad.
Oh, yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah.
Oh, I was saying that this was the highlight of my day outside of the waffles.
Oh,
and
excellent.
I don't know how it's going to get any better than this.
Good. Well, I'm
like, what am I supposed to do now?
I know. I don't know. Enjoy the day.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Great meeting you.
It was so nice meeting you too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's just out of habit now. You called me baby.
That's Julianna Joy. Her new EP, Garden of Eden, available now wherever it is you stream and download your jams. Produced by the great Teddy Geiger, who did Lizzo and Shawn Mendes. Great talking to her, man. What a cool person. She's very, very cool, man. I enjoyed it. Also, her boyfriend's very cool. Just sitting there driving around, listening to her talk to a dude on the phone. Great conversation with Julianna Joy. Get out there and check out that Garden of Eden EP. Also, get out there and check out Quentin and the Past Lives Friends and I Am the Gun, featured on Austin Music Foundation's ATX Gen Next Adventures in Person, along with Natalie Price, Anastasia Hera, Pleasure Venom, and TV Temple. Great conversations with all those people. And don't forget, gang, Joanna Fest this Sunday, February 20th, 3 to 6 at Luster Pearl South. I'll be playing along with the Bell Sounds, Kelly McWee, Natalie Price, Susanna Chaffel, Don Hawks, Betty Sue, and so many more. All proceeds going to Ham, and we're just celebrating Joanna Castillo, one of Austin's great music fans. All right, gang, have a great rest of the week, whatever it is you're doing. I'll talk to you on Friday. Let's get down.
In bars and you only think of your job, running your mouth, don't know how to talk, just snapping your jaw and thinking you're bad for bending the law. I'm so fucking bored. What is it with teenage boys and fucking me over, bragging about a motor and beating their feelings? It's so